Hey everybody, Wayne here. In today's Let's Play, I'm going to be playing through Astra Titanus. This is a solitaire wargame designed by Chris Taylor and published by Victory Point Games. In Astra Titanus, you control a fleet of human vessels against a large, unstoppable AI-controlled ship. Think Fred Saberhagen's Berserker series. Now, before we get to the playthrough, let's go ahead and set up the story.
The silence in the deep void was a lie. Commander Leo Petrova, his face illuminated by the holographic display of the Midway Sector strategic map, felt the ice of that lie settle in his gut. For 6 months, the Solis system had been the epitome of boring post-war stability. Two orbital habitats, the research-heavy Tau and the industrial hub, Zeta, guarded by the hastily assembled sector defense fleet. Now on the edge of the map, a single crimson contact blinked. "Confirming track, Commander," reported Ensign Jax, his voice thin with disbelief. "It jumped from the intersector drift point 16 minutes ago. Velocity and energy signature. It doesn't match anything in the known registries, peace or war." Leo zoomed in, his fingers trembling slightly as they traced the projected path. The object, designated Unidentified Contact Sigma-1, or just Sigma to the worried crew of the heavy destroyer TDF Aegis, was a cold, blunt instrument of physics, accelerating relentlessly toward the heart of the Solis system. It was enormous, utterly lightless, and its faint residual radiation field spoke of unimaginable power generation. "It's not transmitting," he murmured, the words tasting like ash. "No IFF, no hailing codes, not even a scatter pulse." "It's not designed to talk, Commander," said Lieutenant Commander Darius Kale, the Aegis's tactical officer. He was a veteran of the bloody unification wars, and his face was etched with grim recognition. "That profile, it's a Titan. I heard the legends, the ghost stories they used to scare new recruits in the deep frontier. An automated killing machine. A relic." Leo knew the legends, too. Ancient, planet-consuming machines that saw organic life as an error to be corrected. But they were supposed to be extinct or banished to the deep galactic void. Yet there was. The decision had to be made in seconds. Waiting was surrender. The bulk of the fleet was still scrambling from the asteroid belt. He had a frigate, the TDF Fearless, already positioned on a long patrol vector, the best interceptor they had. "Alert the habitats," Leo commanded, his voice suddenly steady and iron-hard. "Red level evacuation drill initiated, no exceptions. Helm, plot a flanking vector for the Aegis. Comms, send a priority one to the Fearless." He took a deep breath. "Captain Aris is to execute standard intercept protocol Bravo 7. Approach, hail, and be prepared to disable, but do not engage unless fired upon." The TDF Fearless, a slender dart of a frigate built for speed and long-range reconnaissance, closed on the massive, silent shadow. Captain Aris, a young man whose career had been nothing but drills and paperwork, spoke into the comms. "Unidentified vessel, this is United Fleet Frigate Fearless. Halt and state your purpose. You are entering a restricted human sector." The only response was a subtle shift in the star field behind the behemoth as it continued its inexorable, silent approach. Eris swallowed, his knuckles white on the yoke. "Unidentified vessel, you have 1 minute to comply or we will be forced to treat you as a hostile element." When the minute was up, the frigate's reactor began to thrum, charging the forward magnetics for a warning shot. But the Titan, the machine that knew only the language of death, moved first. A sudden, blinding flare erupted from the alien vessel's dorsal spine, followed by a torrent of energy so pure, so hot, it burned out the Fearless's forward sensors before it even struck. Defensive lasers in the ultraviolet spectrum, particle beam cannons spitting energized matter at relativistic speeds, and a cascade of kinetic slugs designed to chew through meters of plasteel converged on the tiny human ship. In a single, catastrophic instant, the TDF Fearless ceased to exist. Its armored hull vaporized. Its nuclear drive detonated in a brilliant, brief nova that lit the black void for a fraction of a second. a fleeting monument to the arrogance of trying to reason with an engine of ancient, emotionless war. On the bridge of the Aegis, 1,000 kilometers away, Commander Petrova watched the star of his frigate wink out. The crimson contact on his map continued to advance, unbothered, its speed unchanged. The silence in the deep void was over. The war had begun.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that little intro. And if not, or if we skipped over it, well, let's get to the actual playthrough then, and hopefully you like this a little better. Okay, so I have set up the first scenario from Astra Titanus. We'll do a quick little overview of the rules and the map and the units, and we'll dive into the actual playthrough. It's a fairly simple game. I think there's 6 pages of rules, and that's small pages, so it should be quick to learn and quick to play. All right, so in the first scenario, you have one Hyperion class Titan appearing at the edge of the map. So I have the game map set up here. I have the mat for the Titan, and I have my unit set up. So here on the left side, you can see the Hyperion. He appeared here, and it's randomly between 1 to 6. His goal or his mission here, he's going to move in. He's going to attack and destroy the Tau space station, and then try to attack and destroy the Zeta space station. And my goal is to stop him. He'll be controlled by this deck of cards here. The Titan itself, you'll draw a card, flip it over, and it'll tell you basically during the different phases, and I'll run through the phases real quick. It'll tell you the movement. The hollow hex will be where they start, where they go next, and then move. So for example, this card, he would move diagonally here, he would then move here, and then that arrow is if he had any movement left, he would begin moving this way. He will move until he gets to the same line as the actual target, which again in this case is this station and then this station. And once he's in line with it, he'll begin moving towards it to go ahead and get into the same location. And if it's not destroyed by the time he approaches, move into the spot and devastate it, which basically means, destroy it automatically. And then after his movement, you will have your attacks. He will have his attacks. His attacks will be controlled by the information here on each card. So for each of his weapon systems, which he has defensive lasers, primary beam, and spinal mount, he will target each different type of target from missile to destroyers, frigates, cruisers, etc., etc. With each type until it either runs through all of his attacks, or there's no targets available, or he hits a stop sign. Looking at the mat here quickly, you can see the Omega weapon will not be used in this scenario. This is the first scenario, beginner scenario. Here's how we keep track of his spinal mount attacks, primary beam attacks, defensive laser attacks, and then his drive system for moving down here. Our goal is going to be able to inflict damage on all the different systems, reducing them to 0. Once they're all reduced to 0, he's destroyed. There's also a nice little sequence of play on here if you need it. So the key to remember here is that each of these it'll have a counter, and it moves right as it inflicts damage. Whatever number that's visible to the right is however many attacks or movement it has. So for example, starting off, it has 4 defensive laser attacks in each turn. As I inflict damage, it'll get reduced. Oh, now only 3, now only 2, whatever's visible, now only 1, and then once it's here, he has no defensive laser attacks left. Again, each of the systems will be attacking. We need to try to destroy those systems, reduce them to 0, destroy the actual Titan itself. When it comes to the combat, looking at, say, a defensive laser here on the Titan, you can see a few different numbers on here. The key ones, remember, are the combat strength is this number. So in this case, for the defensive laser, it's 2. It has a range of 3. And then the number in 7 is its defensive number. When you're rolling to attack, so either our Terran Defense Force ships attacking the Titan or the Titan attacking us, they're going to roll a 1d6. You're going to add that combat strength. So in this case, it was a 1 plus a 2. That's a 3. So 3 combat strength on that 1 defensive laser attack. Say it happened to be in range of a frigate. He was firing at a frigate. You would then look at its defense. If it's equal or higher than, it inflicts a hit. Smaller ships, escorts, like frigates, they will be automatically destroyed. Larger ships will be flipped over to their reduced side. And then They have a potential chance to repair themselves at the end of a turn, and then second hit will destroy them as well. All right, let's run through the sequence of play quick. So sequence of play starts off, FTL jump out. What that means is your movement's actually kind of delayed a turn. So how that works is you will pick whichever units you want to move, which in this scenario, the first turn, none of your docked ships, the ships that are docked with space stations, can move. Second, you have to wait a turn. But what you do is you pick, each of them has a movement, right? So the movement will be the far right number. That is the number of hexes they can move. But what you do is you call FTL. Okay, he's going to move by FTL. You will, generally speaking, if it's the escorts, since they don't have a reduced side, you can flip them over. Or you throw these nice little warp tokens on a ship to show, hey, it's moving. That's it. Now it's warped out. And then at a later phase, it'll come back in. Actually, basically right at the end of the turn. So basically, when you decide to move a unit like that, it's no longer, pretty much no longer available for that turn. So say we're going to move those and the rest are staying where they are. All right, then you draw the Titan card. It's the next phase, and that's where we have the Titan card. We can kind of look at, see what's on there. We do the Titan movement. So again, that's where we would follow the movement on the card. We would conduct TDF attack, that's Terran Defense Force, that's our attacks. So now, wherever the Titan is, if our units are in range with any of their attacks, they can go ahead and launch attacks. Excuse me, with non-missile weapons. Again, that's also non-jumping units. So say this cruiser, frigate, if they happen to be close, would be able to attack. Next phase would be the Titan attack. That's where he runs through his defensive lasers, primary beam, and spinal mount attacks. Then there is the TDF missile phase. So missiles are also handled kind of like the way warp is, where it's kind of, it's a delayed turn. So units that have missiles, which those are going to be units like, say, this battleship with the 2 dots on the top, have missile counters. They can fire one salvo of missiles. It's not just like a single missile, right? It's a whole bunch of missiles. They can fire a salvo of missiles. And what happens is they will be placed next to the combat unit, the spaceship, and then whatever that number is, that's their movement. So 3. So say he was moving towards the Titan here, he could go 1, 2, and 3. If he has not collided with the Titan, he would stay there. And then the next turnaround during the next missile phase, assuming it's still there and hasn't been destroyed by the Titan, because the Titan will target it. Remember, missiles here will target it with defensive lasers. You'll flip it over. Now as a 5 movement, and then you're trying to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you couldn't make it. It explodes. Useless. But assuming it does hit, you will then roll whatever the number on there, number of D6. And then unlike the regular 2-hit with the regular weapons, basically if you roll a 1, it's a miss. And then depending on what else you roll, it either hits the drive, hits defensive lasers, or hits the primary beam. It never hits the spinal mount, however. So if you can get your missiles to hit within the first 3 hexes, they're going to inflict 3. You're going to roll 3 dice. Otherwise, you only get to roll 2. And depending on if the Titan still has defensive lasers left, they can actually shoot down the first sort of missile from the salvo. So you may only actually be rolling 1 missile or 2 missiles. Okay, after the TDF missile phase, there's FTL jump in. That's where you then are moving them one at a time by their movement. Now, say this cruiser here has a movement of 8. And so you're like, I want to move him. Now you have to move a minimum of 4. So they do have a minimum jump distance, which is interesting. So he has to move a minimum of 4 up to 8 hexes. You may say, all right, well, I'm going to move him 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to stop here. 5, 6, or 7. Oh, I'm going to move right here and stop. Okay. Then you go ahead and remove that. And he's good. Good to go there. You then check for victory points. Basically, or check for victory, I should say, which is the player wins if all the Titan systems are destroyed. The Titan wins if it fulfilled its victory condition. And the Titan wins any ties. Then you do the end phase repairs. So if the Titan is dead in space symbol here, you can repair Titan drive system. Number of spaces listed on the Titan card. So if the Titan had the card, that would show for repairs. Also then, for any of your damaged ships, which, remember, the escorts like frigates, they're just going to be destroyed if they get hit. But say my heavy cruiser here had been hit, it had been reduced. I roll a 1d6. On a 5+, he's repaired, and he'd be flipped right back to his undamaged side. And we go to the next turn, which basically involves, again, us doing our movement, deciding who is going to warp out. We go ahead and draw another Titan card, and resolve it. Okay, that's a quick and dirty overview of kind of how the systems work. You're going to see it in action shortly, so I think we should get to the playthrough itself. All right, first turn. One thing as well I didn't mention in my intro is that these cubes here, I just use them, I put them in the game, and what that is, if you couldn't tell looking at it, number of cubes here indicates the number of attacks. So say defensive lasers, that one's there just to show that I use the yellow cube for it. And then I have 4 cubes because he has 4 defensive laser attacks. That way I can, put the cube next to or on that particular unit that it's attacking. It just helps me to resolve my combats. So completely optional. Obviously, if you have your own cubes or something else you want to use, a little dice maybe, go for it. All right, so first off, FTL jump out. Now remember this scenario, we have the Hyperion Titan moving in. And our docked ships, so all the ships on the next to the stations here, they can't move this first turn. So, emergency undocking procedures are trying to get away from the stations, get ready for warp jump. The only one right now is this frigate here. So let's go ahead and give him a warp token to show he is going to be warping out and moving closer to the Titan. Good luck, frigate. All right, next phase, we draw the Titan card. So we draw the card, and we're going to then go right into Titan movement phase. So I'll set the card right here for now. For movement, again, the open hex is where the Titan would be, and you can see basically he is moving straight this way as much as he can. Now, his movement on the drive system is 3. Full strength, he'd be at 4. However, I'm using the variant drive, which is the easier mode. So he has 3 movement. So he will go ahead and move 1, 2, 3. And he doesn't do any sort of warp out, anything like that. He is just charging ahead, on the map and ready to kick butt and, potentially, hopefully, we can inflict a little damage on him. All right, right after that, you do any TDF attack. So again, Terran Defense Force, right? So the human attack. So our ships can attack. So you want to check to see, is anyone in range? 1, 2, 3. However, actually, none of them can move or do any attacks because they're docked, so never mind, can't ignore them anyway. Although I don't think any of them are in range. The only one that would possibly be would be our frigate here, but there's no way frigate has that range. So no human attacks this turn. Now you check for Titan attacks. And you're checking that range. So one of the things on the, and you run through, you do defensive laser, primary beam, and then spinal mount. Checking range, defensive lasers 3. And there's nobody within 3. Primary beam, 4. Nobody within 4. Spinal mount is an X. You go and check the card. The card for spinal mount here says 3 range. Obviously, no one's within range for that. So there'll be no attacks this turn at all. Missile phase, so we could launch or resolve any missile attacks. Again, the ships that are docked are undocking, so they're not able to launch any missiles yet. And the frigate here, he's in the warp, and he doesn't have any missiles. So we do FTL jump in now. So any of them that have been marked for FTL, they're going to go ahead and jump. So we check that movement of theirs. He has a 6, so he can move between 3 to 6 hexes. So he will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop right there. Actually, I lied. He's going to move 3. Move right there and stop. Okay. That is it for FTL jump in. Check for victory. Obviously, not yet. End phase repairs. No repairs needed, so end phase. So this card is done. We can go ahead and discard this card and go on to the next turn. All right, next turn here. First phase, FTL jump out. So our units get to move, and we're going to move basically everybody. So we're going to go ahead and mark everybody. Kind of the nice thing is, though, is that you don't have to pick movement till a little bit later, right? So you mark them as warping out, and then you go ahead and decide where they're going to move as a result of what the Titan does. The only unit I'm not going to move is this frigate. He's going to stand tall right here. First line of defense / scouting. I don't think he's going to last long, but we'll see. All right, now you draw the Titan card. Set it right there next to the dice. And we will check for Titan movement. Starting hex, he's going to keep moving right. Oh, he's charging right in. He's not messing around. Often they'll move around a little bit. He is not. So he will move 1, 2, 3. And then again, that's his max movement right there. Man, he's already literally, look at this. He's right there. I can't believe he charged like that so fast. That's, let's let's see what happens here. So, okay, so we did D'Artagnan movement. Now we can do our attacks. Unfortunately, if I didn't known he was charging that fast directly towards the station, I could have left some of these guys right here to actually can launch their own attacks, but that's okay. It is what it is. This frigate, though, he's right there. He has a range of 3, only combat strength of 1, but at least is right there, so he's going to go ahead and launch an attack. So, attacks, here we go. Let's resolve our first attack. I get to go ahead and pick what system I'm targeting. So I can I can target the drive system, defensive lasers, primary beam, and spinal mount. Now, you probably want to adjust your attacks based on your combat strength, because the higher the die roll, then you can overcome more defenses. So going from most heavily armored spinal mount with a 9 defense, it drops to primary beam is 8, defensive laser has 7, and drive system only has a 6. Now, I probably would go after defensive laser, but with the frigate only having a 1 combat strength, that would mean, and I have to roll equal or higher then, means I have to roll at least a 6 on here, because it'd be, right, 1d6 plus 1 to try to even inflict a hit on the defensive laser. So, to have a slightly better chance, I'm going to go after the drive system. So the frigate's going to fire at the Titan and target the drive system, 1d6, and we're going to get a +1 from his combat strength. 4 plus 1 is 5. We need at least a 6 to hit this drive system. So we fire on him, and let's be honest, we probably hit, but the frigate's weapons, no effect. Oh, great, because now the Titan gets to attack. All right, we go ahead and check the defensive laser here. He will fire at any missiles within range. And now let's go ahead and double check. His range is 3, which is 1, 2, 3, which he can't attack any of these our ships in warp. But frigate obviously right there. So any missiles, there's no missiles. A frigate, oh, yep, there's the frigate right here. So he's going to attack the frigate with his defensive laser. At least one of them. So I like to set aside a little cube there to show he is shooting at the frigate with the defensive laser. Just like our attack, very simple. We're going to go ahead and roll a 1d6, add his combat strength, which is 2. So 1d6 plus 2, a 6, of course. 6 plus 2 becomes 8. Look at the frigate's defense number. Defense number is right here. Remember, combat, defense, and movement. Defense is 6. Well, I would say an 8 is equal or greater than 6. So the frigate takes a hit from defensive laser and is obliterated. You inflict a hit on him, which, again, an escort, you flip him over. Well, no, they have no reduced side. He is destroyed. So, just like in the intro, the frigate did not last long whatsoever. Oh boy. All right, and then you would, so basically you'd run through, right? So we still have 3 more defensive laser attacks, the Titan does. You'd run through, okay, any destroyers, which it's regular destroyers or missile destroyers, frigates, and hit the stop sign. There are none of the above, right? There were no destroyers or no other frigates, so it's going to stop right there. Same thing with the primary beam. 1, 2, 3, 4. He does not have, however, any sort of, there's no heavy cruisers, there's no battle cruisers, and there are no battleships available for him to shoot at. Alright, I just wanted to double check the rules. I don't have the rules in this game memorized. So, the defensive lasers, if there had been a capital ship in range that's not listed here, it would combine them and attack. Not going to happen because there's no capital ships in range. The primary beam, though, he will then, because there are no, what's his range on that? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Because there are none of these ships in range, but the objective, the target objective, the Tau space station, is in range. He's going to combine his attacks and actually attack the space station. Now, space station, you see D7. I believe he's going to attack him with a 7 defense. So primary beam, he has a 4, and he has, 2 attacks? So you combine your attacks. Alright, I had to double check the rules here. So actually, the Titan is going to attack the station with his primary beam. So, just a quick rundown, defensive lasers. He'll attack whatever ships are in range that are listed here. And then if there are none, if there's any capital ships in range, it'll combine defensive laser fire, which basically, combined fire, we haven't gotten there yet, would be, you have 1 as the primary, and then each additional attack adds a +1 to the die roll. However, there are no ships in range, and it does not use defensive lasers on the station, so that does not happen. However, the primary beam, with his 2 attacks, he's definitely going to target the station because there are none of the capital ships available to shoot at. So he's going to fire the primary beam, which I believe is in range. 4 range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, he's going to fire at Tau Station with a 4 attack. Tau Station has a defense of 7, it looks like. D7 on here. Let's go ahead and roll, see what happens. And primary, both on the station there. I won't mark it, no need to. So for the first one, 1d6 plus 4. 7 or higher is going to cause a hit. Well, 6 plus 4 is 10. That causes a hit. So, go ahead and throw a hit marker on Tau Station. And for the second one, 1 plus 4 is 5. Does not equal 7. Therefore, no hit there. Defenses absorb the second primary beam. Alright, and then the spinal mount. That one automatically tries to target any objective first, which, range of 1 though, thankfully. So, he's not able to attack with the spinal mount. Whew. So one hit on the station, which only has only absorb 2 hits, and 1 hit on a frigate, destroying that. Yeah, wonderful. So that is the Titan attack phase. So now we go on to our missile phase. So any of our units that are not in warp could launch any missiles, which, again, unfortunately, I sent everybody into warp. So none of them can launch their missiles this turn. Next phase, FTL jump in. Oh, FTL/warp. You get what I'm saying. Now we can go ahead and conduct any movement that we want to do. So let's go ahead. Oh boy. All right, let's start getting guys moved here. So this battleship with a couple missiles. We don't want to get too crazy because he's got missiles to shoot off. So he will. Actually, he's gonna stay right where he is, I think. So we're starting to surround the Titan here. We have these missile forces going to launch their missiles in a missile swarm. And then a couple more capital ships moving up from over here. All right, well, let's see what we can do, right? All right, so that was FTL jump-in phase. Now we check for victory. No victory or anything like that. Now we go to the end phase, repairs. Nobody can be repaired. I don't believe you can repair the station at all. So I do not believe so. All right, that's it for this turn. On to the next turn of the game. All right, first phase, the FTL jump out phase here. I think I like where everyone is. We have units surrounding the Titan. We have some missile carrying units here and here, and a few more capital ships up here. Yeah, I think I like where everyone is. So no movement. Basically, we want everyone that's here to shoot at the Titan. So next phase, draw a Titan card. And see what we got. Okay. So, oh no. Okay. Well, Titan movement is the first phase. So, starting hex, and then it's going to move down to the right, and then go right an additional 2 hexes. So, going to move into space here with the frigate, which this is the first time, I believe, so let's go ahead and roll for to see if the frigate is destroyed if the Titan rams it. So we roll a 1d6. On a 6, the frigate warps away. And on a 1 through 5, they are destroyed. So Titan takes out my frigate. Oh boy, wonderful. And then he'll start going to the right, which he'll move into where the cruiser is. Oh boy, all right. Oh, so 1d6, need a 6, need a 6. A 5. Blows up the cruiser. Sound effects are free, by the way. Oh boy. All right. And what would that be? 1, 2, and he gets moved 1 more to the right and stops right here. Wonderful. Okay. You gotta love it, let me tell you. Okay, that's it for the Titan movement, and now we get to do my attacks. So, nice thing is now I get to unload some weapons here and attack this freaking Titan and hopefully do some damage on it. So, alright. So let's see who we want to attack first. I think we'll have the This battle cruiser here is going to fire at the Titan. He has a combat strength of 4 and a range of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this cruiser, range of 3. 1, 2, 3. Too far away. Okay, that's okay. Battle cruiser will shoot with 4, and we'll take. Actually, I don't think we need to combine. Well, might as well. We'll combine with the frigate just to make sure. So the frigate will combine power, which adds a +1 basically for each combined fire. So 4 +1 there. So basically +5, and we're going to target the defensive lasers on the Titan. So +5, and all we need to do is we need a 7 to hit the defensive lasers. We need at least to roll a 2 and a 6. So yep, we hit the defensive lasers. So move the defensive laser marker over 1. Okay, they've fired now. This cruiser can't fire; he's too far away. We have the battleship, and by the way, there's no real line of sight or anything. We're in space, so they can fire around each other, things like that. We have a bunch of missile units here, but remember that phase comes after. So we'll have our attack, then the Titan will attack. Oh boy, and then there will be the missile phase. So, all right, the missile phase. Let's go ahead, or excuse me, sorry, not yet. We'll finish our regular attacks. Let's do the battleship will fire. He has a 5. He'll just fire himself in a range of 4, his regular attack. And he can fire against the defensive lasers. So +5. 5, 6, 7. Just enough to knock out a laser. So now we drops down to 3 lasers. So I'm going to take one of the cubes and move it aside. Because now he only you look to the right. See how he has 3 defensive lasers available. Both of these, I think they can reach 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, he can't. He can. 1, 2. And he will fire at the defensive lasers as well. He only has a 2 combat strength, so he needs to roll at least a 5. 4, no good. And he's out of range. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, out of range all of them, huh? Oh boy, I have not had good positioning on my fleet here. Oh boy. All right, that's it for my attacks, the human ship attacks. So we do the Titan attack phase. Oh boy, let's work our way through it. So check the defensive lasers here. First off, he'll shoot at a frigate, which I believe, yep, this one's in range. So he'll shoot at this frigate right here. Range of 3, yep. So his 2 attack. So 1d6 plus 2, and our frigate's defense is 6. So 5, 6, 7. That is enough to destroy the frigate. 1 hit and it's done. Frigates are not very strong. Any extra hits to give. Aim for, and that was 1, right? So we have what, 2 more? Another frigate. Aim for a cruiser that's close. There's definitely a cruiser right here. So I'll shoot at the cruiser. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, that's out of range, isn't it? Yep, he only has a range of 3. And then destroyers. 1, 2. That destroyer's in range right there. So I'll shoot at him. Again, defensive laser with a +2. 5, 6, 7. And his defense is 7. So he gets a hit on the missile destroyer here. Flip him over. Oh, he's also... I thought he was I guess he's not a capital ship. It's a destroyer. Yep. So he's actually destroyed, and both of his missiles go with him. Oh my god. That's horrible news. Horrible news. Okay. And well, let's mark that down to show that he fired there. And finally, he has 1 attack left. Another frigate. There's no other frigates available. So he would then take his last attack and fire it against the... Or does it go back through and look for... Yeah, there's just no one else in range. So he combines the last attacks, which is only 1, and goes after the closest capital ship, which is the battleship right here. So fire at the battleship. I don't even know if he can... I don't even think he can hit him. Because the battleship has a defense of 10. Yeah, and the defensive laser only has a 2. So even if he rolled a 6, it would only be an 8. So ineffective fire. Now we do the primary beam. Cruiser, and then stop. Range of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he'll shoot that cruiser right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he'll shoot the cruiser with one of them. And basically, I'll shoot the cruiser with both, because he'll shoot and he'll shoot again. It's the only one in range. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the primary beam has a combat strength of 4, so 1d6 plus 4, and the cruiser's defense is 8. So if he rolls a 4 or higher, it'll be a hit. Check for the first one. That's a miss. And the second one, that one's a hit. So now we go ahead and flip the cruiser over to his reduced side. All right. And finally, the spinal mount. Now, the spinal mount has a range of 3 on the card. And remember, first off, he's going to try to shoot at the station. 1, 2, 3. So I think he's going to destroy it here, because with a 6 combat strength, rolls a 1d6. 4 plus 6 is 10. And remember, the defense on the station is 7. So that is a second hit. You see the little squares up there? The station only has 2 hit points. So, big explosion. That was the spinal mount there. Big explosion. And the Tau station is destroyed. 1 target down. 1 left to go. And the Titan is barely hit and looking unstoppable. Oh my god. I think we're doomed. I think we're doomed, boys. Boys and girls, excuse me. Yeah, because he's going to go right. Now he's going to go right to Zeta. Oh my gosh. Let's see how the rest of this round goes, I guess, with these missiles. Not feeling too optimistic about what's about to happen, though. Oh boy. All right. So that was a Titan attack phase. Now we do our missile phase. So Battleship's going to launch a missile here. So what you do is you basically place, you can fire 1 at a time. You place them next. And then you move them up to 3. And if he hits the Titan, it causes the damage. So boom, hits the Titan. Big explosions. Salvo hit comes in. Now he has defensive lasers available. So the first missile is ineffective. It's knocked out by the defensive lasers. So we roll for 2 missiles hitting. 1 is a miss. 2 to 3 hits the drive. 4 to 5 hits the defensive laser. And 6 hits the primary beam weapon. So the drive is hit. And the defensive lasers are hit. So we mark the drive down by 1. And then, let's say defensive lasers. Yep, defensive lasers down by 1. So now there's only 2 defensive lasers, by the way. Again, you look to the right of the actual counter. Beautiful. Now you only get to do 1 salvo with missiles per turn. So you don't get to fire anymore. He'll get to fire. Drop it here. And then just drop it adjacent. And then you move it up to the full movement. 1, 2, boom, boom. Another explosion. Again, knocked down to 2 missiles. Same thing as before. All right, 3 and a 4. That's the drive hit and the defensive lasers hit. So the drive is hit and the defensive lasers are hit. Ooh, 1 more hit on them and knocked them down just 1 defensive laser. That's nice. Missiles. And now, let's see, he can do... Oh, he's not going to get there in time. That's okay. So drop there. And 1, 2, 3. That's all right. Doesn't make it all the way to hit, but that's all right. Okay, that's it for TDF missile phase. FTL jump in. Nobody was jumping, so ignore that. Check for victory. Well, not yet. He still has 1 station left. And end phase repairs. So the only thing we have is our cruiser here has been damaged, so we roll a 1d6. And on a 5 or 6, he's repaired. 1, not good enough. Damage control parties are unable to heal up all the damage. So, all right. Discard this card and on to the next turn. All right, first phase, FTL jump out. I can definitely see a few guys I want to move. So let's get this cruiser, gonna warp, he's gonna get closer. This battle cruiser, same deal. And let's get our battleship out of the way. let's move him, so we'll get him moved out of the way. Everyone else, I think they're in a good spot. I mean, we lost the, actually no, let's also... This battle cruiser up here, and this cruiser here. Should we do that cruiser as well? 1, 2, 3. No, we'll leave him. We'll risk it just in case the Titan comes this way. So, kind of get these 2 to moving towards Zeta, and these 2 will move down a little bit. once we're actually the actual movement part. Yep, okay, that'll be good. All right, on to the next phase. Draw a Titan card. Boom. Oh, no. Okay. So, it's going to move straight, well, not only east in space, but you get the idea, right? Assuming this was a regular map, northeast, he's moving east. Oh, he's moving east 3 spaces. So, he moves here. Now, our battleship is in warp, so it is not devastated. It's not destroyed, thank God. That's 1. That's 2. And on the 3rd, he does move in with the missile destroyer, which the missile destroyer will need to roll. On a 6, he jumps out. And he does not, so he is destroyed, rams the Titan. I don't believe... Oh, and it does take a damage to the movement for what it destroys, too. I missed that part. Oh, no. Shoot. So actually, to the drive. So every time it rams a ship, asteroid, or space station, it actually loses a point to its drive. So we had 1, 2. I know we had a few. Technically, it may not have even made it that far. We're not going to retcon it. We'll just say down to here, I guess. I don't know. I think we rammed 3 of them. So technically, I don't know if it should have moved 3. It maybe should only move 2, so maybe wouldn't have hit them. But I have a feeling we're not going to win this one anyway, so who cares at this point? Not to give up to the AI menace here, but something tells me the Berserker here is going to win. Okay, all right, well, that was their movement. Now let's do our attack. If we have anyone that can reach him. The battleship here can attack, and the cruiser, 1, 2, 3, he can as well. This cruiser, 1, 2, 3, he cannot. So, battleship and the cruiser. Each of them is going to target a different system, though, instead of combining. So, the battleship is going to target the defensive laser with his 5 defensive strength, or excuse me, combat strength. Boom. Reduces that to 1. And then the cruiser, same thing, is going to target the defensive laser. 3, and what was his again? 3, that's 6. Oh, it's not good enough. Shoot. All right, and then that is it, I believe. Yep, that's it. 4 attacks. Now the Titan gets to attack. So defensive laser. He has 1 defensive laser active. So he'll shoot at a frigate. Nobody in range. He'll shoot at a destroyer. Nobody in range. Frigate, and then stop. So he would... I believe he would shoot at... closest capital ship, which would be the he can't do anything to him. Defensive laser is not strong enough to shoot the battleship anyway or cause any damage. So basically, ineffective fire on anybody. The primary beam, range of 4. He will shoot at the battleship first with the first one. Range of 4 and 4 combat strength. 4 plus 4 is 8. The battleship has a defense of 10, so no effect. And he will shoot at a battle cruiser. What's the range on that? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Cruiser. Yeah, I'll shoot him right there. So plus 4. 5. That is a hit on this cruiser right here. And that was not bad. That was right there. And then the spinal mount with a range of 1. Oh, there's nobody in range, so otherwise he would shoot at the battleship, but nobody in range, so no effect there. All right, that's it for Titan's attacks. I get to do my missile phase, so let's go ahead and... This missile here, that's already in flight, we flip him over. So it goes to this side, so slightly reduced. He'll come in. 1, 2, 3, and explode. There's a defensive laser left, so it reduced just to 1, so 1 die. A 3, which is drive is hit. And get rid of him. And we have missiles here. Launch them. And boom. Reduced to 2 missiles, so we roll 2 dice. 3 and 3. These are both drives. Yep, drive is hit. 1, 2, 3. Missiles. I think that's it for missiles and everything. Yep, that is. So now, next phase, FTL jump in. You jump over in. See how far. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put them there. Hopefully that's out of the way enough. Hopefully. We'll see. Up to 8. 4 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, stop there. And range of 6 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop there. Oh, and right up here, this battle cruiser with 4 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right here. All right. That's it for FTL jump in. Check for victory. Not yet. End phase repairs. 2 ships. So first cruiser down here. Nope. And then second one here. Yep. He is repairs. Emergency repairs are completed, Captain. Perfect. Sounds good. All right. On to the next turn. Oh, boy. All right. First phase, FTL jump out. I don't think any of our ships need to move. I think we're good here. So, yeah, I think we're good. So we'll draw a Titan card. All right. Movement basically is going to head that way. Due east. We decided that's east, right? Towards the 90 degrees. If you check the top right of the map there. All right. And he only has a movement of 2. 1, 2. So he just goes right here. So he's definitely heading towards the target, but didn't take on any of our ships. So let's see if we can dish out some more damage on him. Titan movement stunts. Now our attacks, our basic attacks, if you will. Let's go ahead and do... Oh boy. Let's do this. Let's get that last defensive laser done, and then we'll work on primary beam and then spinal mount. Yeah, so let's do last defensive laser. So we'll target that. Battleship will attack, with its own attack, which is 5, to the defensive laser. Just need to roll a 2. Are you serious? Okay, so we should have combined just to make sure, but we didn't. That's on us. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Oh no, attack. This battle cruiser will attack, and also on the defensive lasers with a +4. Boom, he does get it. So the last defensive laser is destroyed. So now he has no defensive lasers currently. Let's see. Beautiful. And then, so these 2 fired. He's out of range. These can fire anyone who's in range. 1, 2, 3, which all of them are. Oh, yeah, baby. All right, let's take out the primary beam. So primary beam, we have 3 strength, 4 strength, and what do we need to hit? We need to get an 8. Oh boy. Yeah, let's combine some attacks. Let's do this. Let's do this. Battle cruiser will fire, and this cruiser will assist it. So +1, so it becomes +5. We just need to roll a 3. Should we risk it? Yeah, let's do that. So we'll shoot the primary. The primary beam. The PB, the peanut butter. All right. We need, 4 + 1 becomes 5, and we need to get an 8. So you just need to roll 3. 3 or higher, 3 or higher, 3 or higher. Boom! Primary beam takes a hit. Very nice. Still has 2. And finally, will the battleship fire with this cruiser in support. So the 5 becomes a 6, so +6. And we're shooting a primary beam again, so we just need a 2. And we got it. So primary beam is knocked down to 2. So now it actually has 1 primary beam attack. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And that was everybody, right? Yep. That was all of our attacks. So now we do the Titan's attacks, which doesn't have too much left. So basically a couple attacks. He has no defensive lasers, so no worries there. PB, he has 1. He will fire at, we have a battle cruiser. Yep, right here. Because the range is what? 4. Yep, so he's going to fire at that battle cruiser with a defensive 9. So the primary beam, +4. A 5, so no effect. And then finally the spinal mount has a range of 3. 1, 2, 3. Not within range of the station yet, because that's where he would target first. He's close though. 1 more turn of movement. So he would shoot at the battleship, which is right next to him. Oh boy. He has attack of 6. So 1d6 plus 6. That's a 7. My defense is 10, so ineffective fire as well. Wow. That was the best turn we've had fighting off the Titan's attacks. Things are looking up suddenly. All right, so now it's our missile phase. We only have one missile left, so the battleship will drop these missiles off, fire a whole big salvo of, star blotter missiles, and smash into the Titan. No defensive lasers, though, so actually all three. So roll all 3 dice, and we'll see what we get for rolls here. Literally all defensive lasers, which are already destroyed, so they smash into the already destroyed defensive lasers, all 3 missiles, total waste. Really could have used those on the primary beam or the drive even. Bummer there. Okay, it's it for missiles. Now we do the FTL jump-in phase. Nobody was moving. Check for victory. Nope. End phase repairs. This cruiser here. See if he repairs. 5 or 6. 4. He does not repair. On to the next turn. All right. FTL jump out phase. I like the range on some of them. Some of them I do not. So let's go ahead. Get this battle cruiser here moving. And this cruiser here moving. I think, because even if he moves, so he can go, either he can go back or he can keep going. And he's only has movement at 2, though, so 1, 2. He would still hit. 2, 1, 2, 3. He would still be able to hit. He would not. But you also don't want to overdo it. He'll move. So he'll try to get closer to the station. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he'll stay there. It's risky. No, should I move him into a position to... You know what? Let's also get the battleship going here. This one here. Everyone else are going to stay where they are. Attempt to keep shooting at the Titan. So basically, you can see kind of our forces here. Get them jumped ahead towards the front of the station. And last defense before the Titan takes it out. Okay. Draw a Titan card. Ooh. Oh, man. Okay. So he moves into the space with the cruiser right here. He has 2 movement, by the way. Hits the cruiser, or possibly roll 1d6, see what happens. 6. Oh, the cruiser, actually I almost would have rather takes the hit, but whatever. So the cruiser warps out, so basically he will be right there, warped. 1, so he doesn't hit anybody, and then when he goes up 1 more, an angle again, yeah, goes up this way, oops. Right here, it stops right here. Okay. I can live with that. Yep, and then he would keep going. He'd start going to the 90 degrees, but he only has 2 movement. So, okay, stops there. We'll do our TDF attacks. Let's do those. Let's get, God, we need, actually, spinal mount, range of 3, 1, 2, 3. We can get rid of that spinal mount. Let's combine our attacks. The battleship and the battle cruiser. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they both can hit. But wait a second. That's a 9 defense? I think we're going to attack with both. We'll try to get it reduced as fast as possible. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So the battleship will fire as regular guns. Plus 5. You need to get a roll at least a 4. Boom. Hit on the spinal mount. And battle cruiser will do the same. He'll fire. He only has plus 4, though. So we need at least hit a 9. So we need a 5. We need a 5. Boom. Beautiful. Spinal mount. Still 1 though. Still has 1. Oh boy. Alright. Titan attack. He has no defensive lasers. He has primary beam, which he will fire against the battle cruiser, which is right next door. Right next to him. Fire on him. Primary beam has a combat strength 4, so 1d6 plus 4. 6. 9 defense, no hit. Beautiful. And the spinal mount will attack the station with his defense of 7. Spinal mount has a 6 strength. Good lord. So basically guaranteed, yep, he's got a hit on the station with the spinal mount. 1, 2, 3, yep, range of 3, just making sure. Oh boy. Zeta station takes a hit. Oh boy. Okay. So, still in the fight, though. Still in the fight, boys. Don't worry. That's it for Titan attack. We do our missile phase. We have no missiles left. FTL jump in. Let's get everybody in position, I guess. So, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should say 3 to 6. Stop right in front. Offering himself up. 8. 4 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's staying right there. And 4 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop there. I think that's it. Okay, that's it for FTL jump in. Check for victory. None yet. Check for repairs. This cruiser here. 5 to 6. Boom. Damage control cruise. Got him back in action. Full strength. Next turn. See what happens. All right. FTL jump out. Everyone's in a good spot. Actually, hang on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's still there. We need to inflict some damage on this. I'm keeping that battleship there. I need his attack. But once he moves, though. If he moves... all right, we'll move him. We'll warp the battleship. That's it, though. That's it. All right, draw a Titan card. Ooh. Uh-oh. Interesting. All right, so he moves up towards 0% or 0 degrees, and then to the right. So it's 2 movement. So he goes around the ships. Okay, I thought he was going to start ramming them. So I thought, which I don't want, but at the same time would start reducing his drive more. Okay, so that's Titan movement. Now we get to do our attacks. Yeah, we got to get rid of this spinal mount first. Let's do that. So let's battleship, armor 9 will attack combined with these 2 cruisers flanking him. Yeah, let's do that. So 5, 6, 7. So plus 7. So you just need to roll a 2. Boom. Destroys the last spinal mount there. And that was these 3. So now this battle cruiser will fire 1, 2, 3, along with the cruiser in support. So 4 plus 1 is 5 against the primary beam with this defensive 8. So we need a 3 or higher. Ah, come on, man. All right, no good there. And the battle cruiser here will fire, and he'll fire at the drive system with his defensive 6. So he has a 4 strength, so we just need a 2 or higher. Boom. So drive is reduced down to just 1. Crawling along. Okay, very nice. Interesting. Taking some butt here. I like it. Huh. Anyway, what are we thinking here, guys? So we did our attack, and now the Titan gets to attack. All it has left is a primary beam. So that will go ahead and shoot a battle cruiser. And I'll shoot the battle cruiser. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This one right here, I suppose, because what's his range? 4. Yep. So plus 4. 5, 6, 7. Not enough to overcome the defense. Battle cruiser survives. Missile phase. We have no missiles left. FTL jump in. So get this battleship to jump in. 2 to 4. 1, 2, 3. That'll be good enough. All right, check for victory. Nobody, not there yet. Check for repairs. No need for any repairs. All right, next turn. All right, FTL jump out. I think we're good. I think everyone's in a decent spot, so we're just going to leave them as is. Next phase, draw a Titan card. All right, so he will move this way down into the space of the battleship. Oh boy, didn't think of that. All right, let's go ahead and see if the battleship survives. Need a 6, need a 6. He does not. So the battleship is destroyed. However, the battleship does cause the lose a drive, and he only has 1 movement. So that's it. He moves the 1. Otherwise, he would have moved another 1. He moved right into the target and destroyed it, which would have ended the game in a Titan victory. Although he's already this close that it's going to be... Let's see what we can do. Let's not jump ahead. All right. So that was Titan movement. We get to do our attacks. We need to reduce the movement. We want to get the primary beam destroyed. We got to reduce the movement, don't we? So everyone's going to attack, I think, by themselves, try to reduce that movement. So we need to hit a 6. So this cruiser with its 3, so we need to roll a 3. That's 1. This cruiser needs to roll a 3 or higher. That's another. This battle cruiser here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, excuse me. Needs to roll 2 or higher. That's another one. This cruiser here needs to roll 3 or higher. And we have what? We have these 2 left. So the battleship just needs to roll a 1, which is easy enough. And this battlecruiser here needs to roll at least a 2. 1 or 2. No, it needs a 2. So 2 or higher. Ho, ho, ho. Boom. He's now dead in space. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Titan attack. Well, all he has left is he has 1 primary beam, so he'll shoot a cruiser that's next to him, which is surrounded by cruisers, so he'll shoot the one here that's kind of in front of him. Primary beam has a 4 attack. 4 plus 1, 5. Cruiser's defense is 8, so no effect. Oh, it's Titan. All we need to do, though, is eliminate this primary beam, and we'll get him. Wow. Okay. So, let's see here. Missile phase. There's no missile phase. Jump in. No need. Everyone's moved. Victory. No victory yet. End phase repairs. If the Titan is dead in space, symbol appears on the Titan card, and the Titan drive is 0, immobilized. Repair the Titan drive system, the number of space listed on the Titan card. Well, it's not on there. There is no... because dead in space is like an X, which I think, so I'm looking at the old cards we've already drawn, that is like that. See? That would repair it to the 2 space, or 2 spaces, I should say. So there's not, on the current card, there is none. So that is it for this phase, and all of our ships are at full strength. So on to the next turn. It's coming down to the wire here, folks. Jump out phase. No need. Everyone's right there. This is it. Draw a Titan card. All right, check for Titan movement, but he has a movement of 0 right now, so he's not going anywhere. He's dead in space. Our attacks now, and we just need to finish him off. So we just need to get that primary beam destroyed here, and we may be able to win. So let's go ahead and combine some attacks. We just need 2 more hits on him. He has a 8 defense. Oh boy. So let's do this battleship will be number 1. Actually, let's do it this way. This battle cruiser will be number 1 with 4. These 2 cruisers will assist, so 5, 6, 7, 8, actually. And then we'll do this cruiser here will assist as well, so 4, 5, 6, 7. So we just need to roll, well, 1. What do you, and we did it, okay. And then, so that was all of them. So now we need this battleship with this 5, and this battle cruiser will help. So it becomes 6. And we need to hit the 8, so we need at least a 2. We need a 2 or higher. Primary beam is destroyed. That's it. All of its systems are destroyed. It has no weapons left, and it is dead in space. I don't know if that space counts. I mean, it's here. It says no movement, so I don't know if it has to go to the X or not. I don't believe so. I don't know. I don't think it clarifies in the rules, and I'm not going to double check. Okay, so... here's the deal. We did our attacks. Now the Titan will do its attack. It has no weapon systems left. Any missiles? No need. FTL jump in? No need. Check for victory. Player wins if all the Titan systems are destroyed. The Titan wins if it fulfills its victory conditions, which is destroying both stations. And Titan wins any ties. Well, all its systems appear to be destroyed. That, I don't know, but I'm going to call it destroyed. And the station's standing, even if it's damaged, 1 station out of 2, and it took 1 hit. And the Titan is dead in space, just close enough. Our ships, our brave Terran defenders, circle around, and either we blow it up, or we capture it for study and gain a technology that we'll need against any future threats. Such as, oh, I don't know. Such as, other Titans. Oh no. But that is it for today's playthrough. That was Astra Titanus, the Solitaire space war game. Look at that. Hope you guys enjoyed that playthrough. Had a little fun at the beginning. Had a little fun along the way. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know I sure did. I thought I was going to lose it there for most of the game. He was flying, but we got on him, got him surrounded, and overwhelming firepower. Humanity survives for now. So if you guys have played this game, let me know below. If you haven't played it yet, you're looking for a copy, well, good luck. It's out of print, and copies available are kind of expensive. But otherwise, if you get this far, always appreciate a subscription, like to the video, and again, most importantly, comment below. Let me know what you think of this video and of the game. So, until next time, everybody. Later.